For XRP and the entire crypto market, mind you, it's the same today as it was yesterday, and the day before that, 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 and so on and so forth. But the good news is it will not stay like that forever. Oh, lots of things are actually happening. It may not feel like progress, but it doesn't matter what you or I feel. Things are actually happening, and we will not continue to move forever, perpetually. That's redundant. In this sideways motion where nothing happens. Like, look, you get stuck in ranges when it comes to price action for any asset or asset class, but you're only stuck until suddenly you're not. And take a look at this. This is from CNBC. News from Friday. Payrolls rose to 22,000 in August, less than expected in further sign of hiring slowdown. Now, I know, that sounds like a super scary and bad headline. Yeah, it is, depending on who you are. But if you're a crypto holder, perhaps not so much. That's where you get into this idea of bad news is good news. Again, depending on who you are. Also, I'm going to share with you perspective from a number of XRP chart analysts, including one who says that XRP is, and this is a quote, super close to giving us a show, end quote. And there are so many chart analysts out there who have been so right about XRP for multiple years now who share that exact perspective. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 12:57 a.m. Central Time, so it is now Saturday, September 6th, 2025. XRP is $2.81, like it was yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that, so on and so forth. Bitcoin is $110,781. Now, of course, if you were paying attention to the market yesterday, technically yesterday now, Friday, as I was watching this son of a bitch climb. I saw XRP hit $2.88. I'm like, oh, is this finally going to break? And everybody's hoping, because look, the news had just broken about the jobs report. More on that in a second. And I thought, okay, the market's responding positively to this, and then off a cliff we go. Thelma and Louise, my friends, off a goddamn cliff. But that's happened multiple times, actually. We have had these instances, at least I want to say 2 other times within the last week where you saw these climbs were like, okay, I got hope, and then off the cliff. Big picture, it doesn't mean anything. In the short term, it's just kind of interesting to observe, and you keep hoping finally we're going to get some hot action. But here's what's happening. And this is kind of what triggered it, but then the market was like, yeah, actually, no, not yet. Again, the headline, like I read earlier, payrolls rose 22,000 in August, less than expected and further sign of hiring slowdown. Job creation sputtered in August, adding to recent signs of labor market weakening and likely keeping the Federal Reserve on track for a widely anticipated interest rate cut this month. Okay, so August jobs, well, basically flat. Yeah, just 22,000 hires, the weakest actually since the 2020 crash. Yes, the pandemic. And by the way, June, actually a job loss, as it turns out. Now, that means the Fed is almost sure to cut rates this month. And 25 basis points, that's basically the story right now. There are some who think it'd be more like 50 basis points, 0.5%. And maybe they're right. And I'll show you Polymarket in a second here. But, I don't blame all of the crypto influencers out there who, after this news, said there's a 100% chance we're getting a rate cut. I understand the cut of their jib. Now, I don't word things quite like that, so I'll say 99%. But yeah, I'm on board with what they're saying. That type of yeah, it's going to happen. Almost certainly. It would be bizarre if it didn't happen. It really would. Okay, so what about after that, though? So we're going to get some sort of rate cut in September. What about after that? Well, markets and big banks, I'll tell you this, they expect 2 to 3 more cuts before the year's out. Maybe even into 2026. Labor market softening, my friends, not good for the economy. So, again, this is bad news for job seekers. Duh. Especially if that trend continues. I know it's just one metric. There's more to consider when it comes to the state of the economy. Yeah. Outside the scope of this video. We're just talking about this jobs report, right? But this news right here, excellent for people like you and me who are invested in the crypto asset class, because this means rate cut. And look, right or wrong, the way people investing in risk-on assets like in the stocks, so equities and in crypto, they view it as a positive. It gives them a greater appetite for risk-on assets. And money, ultimately, like once the rate cuts happen, money does flow more freely. It does create more money that must go somewhere. So that's a big part of why people, businesses, institutions end up having a greater appetite for risk-on assets. That's at hand. So again, if you're in crypto, yeah, it makes sense to be excited for this. It's one more thing. Absolutely. It's unquestionably one more thing. Now take a look at this. And it's so funny. So I actually highlighted this exact bet, I believe yesterday. It's a Fed decision in December, rate cut, right? And so yesterday it was at 93% that there would be a rate cut. Now it's at 99%. So if you combine the bet of 25 basis point decrease versus 50 plus percent basis point decrease, comes out to 99%. So everybody with a brain believes this is going to happen. And it's okay, fine. I'm not certain, but we're as close to certain as it possibly could be. Come on, Jerome Powell. You can do it. Be a big boy. Here's a post from Credible Crypto. And he posted this at 12:30 p.m. on Friday. Did I tell you what time? I think I did. It's well, now it's 1:02 a.m. So yeah, I did. I remember I did. So Credible Crypto, though, he posted this. So it was a little over 12 hours ago. It's a BTC USD chart, and he said, "So close, yet so far. Back to watching and waiting." And this was right after what I was referencing a few minutes ago. Of course, the price of Bitcoin, it was rising until suddenly it wasn't, fell off a cliff here. We're just range bound, folks. Yes, every time it gets that high, we're always hoping that will be the moment where it actually breaks. But ranges are ranges. They go for a long time. They shake people out. People get impatient, like, well, then I need to do something, though. And that's when people tinker with their positions, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Of course, I insist the best investment method is what I'm doing. This is my humble opinion. That's why I'm doing it. Is I buy stuff, I broad exposure, and then I hold, print that shit, put it on the wall. I don't care. Have the plaque bronzed. Put it on your mantle. I don't care. You pay the $100, you get that. So there is nothing to it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to buy a course and learn to trade, you go do your thing. It's not my jam. Definitely not my hot jam. You don't need that to become wildly wealthy in crypto. You honestly, goddamn it, you do not. I swear you do not. Now, you can do it, but for most people, I sit here thinking, do you really want to introduce that level of stress and uncertainty into your life when if you actually just hold crypto in 2025 and you wait however long it takes, you get an absurd return percentage-wise? Like, I mean, I'll take that one, Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. This is the others BTC chart. Oh, I got some. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to start with this, but then I'm going to talk about XRP and others priced against a key stock. So let's start with this, though. So there's others. The others chart is the top 125 coins by market cap, excluding the top 10 coins by market cap. So XRP not included in that, but still interesting even if you're an XRP holder, because, I mean, frankly, if those altcoins are going, it's because Bitcoin's already done what it's going to, and large caps have already started rocketing, and then money flows into the mid caps and the small caps, which is why this is interesting. So if this is going to go, XRP and large caps, they probably are already doing something, right? So it is fascinating, though. So again, others, top 125 coins by market cap, excluding the top 10, and this is denominated in Bitcoin. So it's others priced against Bitcoin. Now, of course, yes, this isn't a trading pair that you can actively purchase, duh. It's just showing the value of others collectively against the value of Bitcoin. That's what this chart is. And what Mustache is highlighting here is that the chart pattern playing out is a falling wedge. And so he wrote the following, #altcoins. Did you know that altcoins are in a falling wedge that has been forming for over 4 years? This is one of the greatest charts out there, to be honest. And yes, it is. Why? Well, there are a number of things that could be said about this, but I'll just say this. Markets find bottoms. Others has been plummeting against Bitcoin for several years. Markets find bottoms. If you were listening to me a year ago, you may recall that when I would pull up the XRP BTC chart, which looked dismal, right? According to many, because XRP was priced so low against Bitcoin, it was close to its all-time low against Bitcoin. What did I say then? I said, markets find bottoms. And yes, they do. Unless you actually believe that XRP, and some would have argued this last year before it started rocketing, unless you believe that XRP, it was actually trending to actual zero against Bitcoin, and that there was some sort of fundamental problem, some sort of actual shift that had changed. If you don't believe that there's actually something that had fundamentally shifted to the negative that was irreversible, then what you should have recognized is that sometimes markets get overbought or oversold, and XRP was oversold, and it's been playing catch up ever since. There we are. That's the same thing that's happening right here. It's just confluence in the markets. There are so many charts that look so perfectly primed. Now, yesterday I highlighted this chart, and I found another analyst making the same argument, which is why I'm bringing this up again. This is others denominated in NVIDIA. The ticker symbol is NVDA. So that's NVIDIA stock. So we're comparing others, which is altcoins, denominated in NVDA, NVIDIA stock. So it's just showing the value of something versus the stock of NVIDIA. That's what this is. And this is shared by chart analyst Maylis. He shared it a few days ago. I highlighted it literally yesterday. And he wrote, oh boy, you want to own some alts. Why? Well, look what happened here. In 2017, others fell. So it peaked, so this is the peak of the market for others. And then it just fell, right? For years and years and years, until suddenly it didn't fall anymore. And it rocketed again, didn't it? And now it's just been falling since. And what happens? Folks, markets find bottoms. I've been saying this literally for years. Markets find bottoms. That's where you find the opportunity. Right here. It's right on your freaking screen. It is right there. Unless we get some sort of black swan event, this is the opportunity. This is what and not just this. Obviously XRP too. I know XRP is not in others. But yes, all of this. Absolutely all of this. And so take a look at this. Crypto Wizard highlighted the same thing. 2:45 p.m. on Friday. So less than 12 hours ago. This is the others NVIDIA chart. And he wrote, it's the same freaking thing. Look at this. Trending down after that 2017 high. Down, breakout and retest. Then going down, breakout and retest. It's going to go. So he wrote, time to outrun. The golden child might take a break. And when he says golden child, he's referencing, of course, the NVIDIA stock. And he says, others has an identical structure to the last bull run. Double bottom respected, and the lower high trend line has broken. All that awaits is the parabolic rally. Isn't that something? So, look, folks. Again, back in 2017, others skyrocketed against NVIDIA. And mind you, this was back when crypto was in full mania. And NVIDIA, by the way, NVIDIA, different back then. NVIDIA wasn't yet the AI darling that it is today. Today, NVIDIA is the benchmark for risk on capital. It just is. So, this chart really shows where speculative money prefers to go. AI stocks or altcoins. Now, in 2017, altcoins ultimately dominated. They did. I just showed you on the chart. But now after, that was after NVIDIA value had risen for quite some time. XRP, though, it dominated NVIDIA at the moment, the same moment in time, frankly. It was the same story. And that's part of the reason I said, yeah, we're looking at others, but true for XRP as well. So, now, mind you, in 2017, though, it was a different narrative. And this is what's so fascinating about this. It's one of the things that's so fascinating. Back then, NVIDIA, like I said, it wasn't yet the AI story. AI back then, who was talking about that? I mean, there were people, but was it as mainstream as it is now? Did we, ChatGPT and stuff? No, none of that was around even. So back then, what was up with NVIDIA? Well, it was a strong growth stock. It was basically riding the GPU/crypto mining phase. It's still a thing. There was also the gaming boom at the time, though. But that was the that was the reason NVIDIA was rising. Basically, GPU. That was a huge part of it. So crypto was still impacting back then. So it's been relevant throughout crypto history for sure, but interestingly, for various reasons at various points in time. That particularly is fascinating to me. So the big question, though, is whether or not others will dominate NVIDIA yet again, and I personally believe the answer is yes. And why? Why? Anybody got a question? Bueller? It's because markets find bottoms. And by the way, rotation is a very, very, very real thing. And so you look at this post from the blockchain backer. He was just highlighting his most recent video, awesome video from yesterday. And he said, it's the title, but confluence everywhere. Bitcoin price chart, altcoins, stocks, and gold. This spot matters. I hope a lot of you checked out that video. It's absolutely fantastic. And he just points out like the degree to which the market is primed. And absolutely it is. It could not be more obvious that what is most probable is this thing is going to go absolutely berserk. It just is. And then you got this from Crypto Insight UK. This is a XRP price chart, and he says, "Come on, XRP. I honestly think we are super close to XRP giving us a show." And you can see what he's drawing here with these trend lines. So XRP, yeah, and this is, by the way, going back to its July high, which is also the all-time high for XRP, hitting $3.65. Just noting that in the short term, you're getting a consolidated range of volatility, and that precedes what? A breakout, my friends. It precedes a breakout. Given that we're in a bull market, is the substantial breakout going to be way, way, way down or way, way, way up? You know which way I'm betting. So I'm not saying we can't see lower in the future. Of course not. I'd never say that at any moment in time. That doesn't make sense. But if you're talking some sort of massive move, given the nature of the charts and historical precedent and where we are in the market cycle, yeah, I think that when this son of a bitch runs, it's going to run upward, not down. That makes way more sense. And I don't know that for sure. I admit that. I could be wrong, sure. That's what I believe is most probable. And you should always be talking in terms of probabilities. Nobody knows for sure. If anybody tells you they know for sure, do not trust them. Maybe they're being braggadocious, and maybe it's okay if you know that they don't literally mean what they say. Okay, maybe. I prefer people to be more precise with their words, and I'm telling you, I don't know for sure. Like, I literally don't. But I really believe that's what's most probable. And here's a post the other day from chart analyst Peppa at Moonchilla here. He wrote TikTok XRP, highlighting the same damn thing. The same damn thing. XRP, it's gonna freaking break out here, folks. It's the same thing. So whether XRP is stuck in Groundhog Day by the time you're watching this, $2.91, or if it's a little lower, a little higher, look, we're going to break out of this range. We're going to, and I think that Crypto Insight UK is right. XRP, it's going to give us a show, and it's very close, almost certainly. Everything is so primed, and all of the analysts that I follow that opine on that particular subject matter, they all say variants of the same thing, which is, yeah, it actually is about to go. And I'm telling you, having followed most of these analysts for a number of years, they don't normally just all say the same thing. They don't just follow in unison lockstep. They're talented, and so it makes sense that even though they don't all